Dark golf. I played dark golf with these guys. Somebody, that was midnight, man. I'm past my bedtime playing out there. I was up all night. I could not get to sleep. No, I had the same one. Same one. I bought it actually. I just buy one. I said, "Hey, get you a shoe." It was only $9. But I'll tell you what, those balls we had dropped down too close. They were not still started.
You gotta get tattoos. So he says, Dad, what are you gonna get a tattoo? Because I don't know when you want it.
I only wanted one. Paralyzed right here. My last day on the job. That's bad. I was little, 3-4 times a week. I shot 40 today. Oh my God.
No, I don't do that. Although, I played city league was out after 1 year, I was out of money. Closest to 4 weeks in a row.
I like it. You got one going up? Oh, we got one. That's true. He's up retired sooner than I want. It's to tell you goodbye.
Oh, no, it'll be.
The red carpet will come out that day. Please, leave.
Just go right out the door.
I'll let you escort you right out the door. She's coming over Thursday. That's what makes it hot. Sandy said that.
We're gonna do it down in
Church? Thursday? Well, you got the health inspector coming on Friday, right? Yeah.
Gotta give you yours.
2 more minutes.
No problem.
New problems?
No problems.
No progress. No? Wow. Another minute. One more minute. Talk among yourselves. Yeah. We were just waiting for Jeff to get here.
I'm here, you can start.
I want to start earlier, we could get in trouble for starting early. Starting late, you know, it's like the buses. They can't be early for a stop. They could lose their job. But they can be late for that. Good evening. welcome to the June 3rd regular meeting of Bedford City Council. I please ask you to rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Asbury?
Here.
Longino?
Here.
Cochi?
Here.
Spinks? Here. Salvi?
Here.
Fluharty?
Here.
Smith?
Here.
Hey, Council, you have the minutes of the work session of May 20th, 2024. Any corrections to those? Seeing none, can I have a motion for acceptance? By Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochi?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
And you have the minutes of the regular meeting of May 20th, 2024. Any corrections to those? Seeing none, I have a motion for acceptance by Smith, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochi?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
And we do have a proclamation tonight, and I think everybody knows it's one of my favorite things to do, proclamations, is recognizing people that do some good things around the town. And today we're going to recognize a longtime business owner in town, and I'd like to do this because we like to recognize our businesses. We've done a few before. Whether it's a 500 people at a big factory or a 1 or 2 or 3 person business, they're all important to the city, and we have some people with longevity, and there's a lot of small businesses out there that we just don't always recognize what they do for us every day. And having 500 small businesses is equal to 1 giant business, so it's always good to recognize, I hate to call them the little guys, the little businesses, but they're very important to our city. So at this time, I'd like to have Mr. Spinks come forward. Yeah, you.
He just fell on the floor.
You're one of those guys. Like I said, but let me just read this, this will explain most of it as we're going on. Whereas Spinks Business Graphics is commemorating its 30th anniversary in 2024, and whereas Mr. Spinks, a testament to perseverance and dedication, established Spinks Graphic Business in his home 30 years ago. His unwavering commitment to his craft as a graphic designer for 49 years. And whereas Spinks Graphic Design, a beacon of creativity, has left an indelible mark on the city of Bedford. The graphic design work for the city's event board, the Bedford Municipal Court, and the Chamber of Commerce has enriched our community. And whereas Spinks Graphic Design does the graphic design work for the flyers and banners for the Bedford Historical Society, and where Mr. Spinks has donated all of his time and expertise in graphic design for the city of Bedford. And now, therefore, I, Stan Cochi, Mayor of the City of Bedford, on behalf of the City Council and citizens of Bedford, recognize the 30th anniversary of Spinks Graphic Design, and for many more. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But you can.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, that's good. 30 years in one business, that's pretty good.
I couldn't hold a regular job.
Thank you for all you do.
Like I was saying, it's important to recognize those people So if anybody out there knows of a business, big or small, that's reaching a particular milestone, let us know, let Tracy know, and I would be very happy to recognize them also. Like I say, the small business is the backbone of America. There's more small businesses in the country than large businesses, and more people employed collectively under small business than in large business. So it's very important to all our communities, and to have some homegrown work right here. I always like to recognize that. So again, Bob, congratulations. All right. We got some unfinished business. Resolution number 2613-24.
Yes, sir. A resolution declaring the necessity to improve certain streets in the city of Bedford by lighting the same and declaring an emergency.
And we've had 2 readings. Can I have a motion for suspension? Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Smith, second by Asbury. John?
Yeah, basically these next 3 are a couple ordinances. In order to assess the cost for lighting, you have to declare that there's a necessity for lighting. Then you have to order the city to proceed with lighting the streets. And then we also permit the city to levy the cost for the streets and public lighting. And so it's 3 separate ordinances. They probably could be combined in one, but historically we've all done them, this way for the last 20, 30 years. So we were doing it the same way. So we'll have a resolution, an ordinance, and then another resolution. So
Okay. Call the roll, please.
Asbury,
yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Ordinance number 28-24.
It's an ordinance determined that the city needs to proceed with the improvement of certain streets in the city of Bedford by lighting the same and declaring an emergency. So we've just said the necessity, now council's ordering them to proceed lighting the streets.
A motion for suspension by Asbury, second by Longino. Call the roll, please.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Fluharty, second by Spinks. John gave the explanation. Call the roll, please.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Ordinance number 29-24.
Is, now that we've declared a necessity and have been ordered to proceed, now we can levy the cost so that everybody pays their fair share. So it's being an ordinance levying special assessments for the improvement of the street and public places of the city of Bedford by lighting of the same in accordance with the resolution we read earlier and the ordinance that we read earlier, and declaring an emergency.
A motion for suspension by Fluharty, second by Spinks. Call the roll, please.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Asbury, second by Smith. We had the explanation. Call the roll, please.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
And just to reiterate here that nobody's getting individual bills for the street lighting. It comes out of your taxes. So,
Correct, yes.
so almost sounds like we're charging each person for their, we are, but through the taxes, not individually. So
Yes, sir.
I don't want any uproar over,
Additional
pay for street
bills,
lights.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, it's something that everyone's been paying
Yeah.
for years.
It's just housekeeping we do every year.
Yes.
Resolution number 26-14.
is a resolution declaring the necessity of assessing the expense for garbage and refuse collection, recycling, and disposal of the same within the city of Bedford, and certifying to the county auditor the cost due the city of Bedford for the collections and disposal, and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension by Longino, second by Smith. Call the roll, please.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Spinks, second by Fluharty. John?
Basically, it's, everyone's gonna, as they have been for years, having their garbage assessed on their bills to make sure everybody pays, and then if we had to do some additional work that people haven't paid for, we may increase, other than the normal charge, if you didn't do, so if we had to do something extra, we also try to collect those costs, but nothing's being increased from what I understand this year. It's just gonna be the same bill, but every year you have to certify to the auditor to put it on the taxes in order to, just a thing you have to do annually. That's about it. No new bills.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Resolution number 2616-24.
This is a resolution approving and accepting the proposed 2020, is it the 2024 tax budget for the year January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency. 24, right?
24.
So it's a proposed budget for next year.
I'll put that on second reading and motion for such by Longino, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Reports, our city manager obviously is not here. He was here earlier for our work session. He's going to try to get back here. He had some other business to take care of. Law director, you have?
No report. I'm trying to think here. Maybe I won't see anybody for Father's Day. Have a happy Father's Day, everybody. And other than that, no report, Mayor.
Okay. Finance
Oh,
director.
congratulations to Mr. Spinks there.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Congratulations, Mr. Spinks, 30 years. That's Victory, and that's all I have. Thank you.
That's it? Okay. Mr. Asbury.
I got things to talk about since city manager's not here to take all my stuff. So out of the newsletter, just a couple things here. Exterior residential permit fees waived for the month of June, so if you've got any work that you're gonna be done on the outside of your house that you need permits for, that fee is waived.
Not the permit, just the fee.
The fee, the permit fee
Yeah,
is waived for the month of June. Chipper services this week, if you didn't get on the list, the next week is July 1st. Make sure to call the service department and get on the list. Before we come back, we're on our summer schedule now, so our next meeting is July 1st. So before that, we're gonna have a couple summer concert series on the square Wednesday night, June 12th, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., Brian Papish Party Band. And then 2 weeks later, June 26th, same time, 7 to 9 on Wednesday, Tyrone Blues Sensation. So bring your chairs, come down and listen to some good music, always a good time. We did have a couple water main issues in Ward 5 in the last week or so. We had one at Wandle and Center, one at Ellenwood near Kenyon. Those were both taken care of. Independence Day parade applications are available. If you've got a float, you want to be in the parade, call City Hall, talk to Annie. Attorney Road paving. I think we originally thought it was going to start in June after school was out, but it looks like it's going to start now July 8th. So we got about another month for that. traffic will be maintained heading westbound. Eastbound will be shut down. And one other thing I want to talk about, we had an issue a couple years ago. I remember hearing some issues about it. Last year, I don't think there was too much, but these Orbeez guns that the kids have, they're like little water pellets, and then I guess they freeze them, and then there's guns that shoot them out. I would imagine it's fine if you're in your yard and a group of kids are playing and they're all, they all know that they can get hit with them, but what's happened is there's some teens that are walking around town and they're shooting people that don't want to be shot at, and that's just not a good idea. So parents, grandparents, guardians, again, keep an eye on your kids. If you notice that they're doing something with these Orby guns, question them, make them stay in their yard, okay? Because we don't need people getting hit that don't want to be hit. And as always, keep your music at a rational level, keep your dogs on a leash, and pick up after them. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Longino?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I wanted to say congratulations to Bob. And I hope everybody out there realize that's his wife. So if you get if you get some award or something here, Sandy's not gonna kiss you. That's her husband. So.
Well, it depends on what they look like.
Okay, all right, so I want to clear that up. Juneteenth is coming, they're having something at the high school, I just want everybody to know about that, and also we're gonna have a road race called the Freedom Run, also that morning. I also wanted to say congratulations to Bedford High School girls track team. Their 4x1 made it to state. They didn't make the finals, but making it to the state and being in track all these years is huge, and they're young. So they will be back down there. They will. Well, it was in Dayton, I say Columbus, but it was in Dayton this year, but it'll go back to Columbus next year. But they'll be back. So congratulations to those ladies who made it down there on that track team. It's a huge accomplishment. While I was down there, my daughter's record got broke too. She had a state record in the 200. It was 15 years old, but he got broke while I was down there. Also, I want to talk about, I got the newsletter and I'm like, wow, they touch on everything I was going to talk about. So I guess I'll be a little redundant and talk about it myself too. I'll talk about keeping your dog on a leash because it was an incident with one of my neighbors when somebody walking their dog. And it wasn't so much the dog wasn't on the leash, he just couldn't handle the dog, and his dog got loose and ended up, their dogs went at it, and her dog ended up getting pretty messed up. So just be careful about your dog. If you can't handle your dog on the leash, just be aware, be mindful when you see other dogs, basically is what you need to do. This is the time now with the summertime, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna wanna get a fence put up. Just make sure when you come to the city hall and you're trying to get the permit, call and make sure you have everything in order so you won't have to, get to run around and think, oh, they didn't take care of me like I should. If you just call and see what you need to do beforehand, that'll just save you some time. So I suggest calling ahead, making sure you get everything taken care of, or do whatever you need to do before you come and ask for a permit. I think that's it. I yield my time. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Spinks?
Good evening. Congrats to my husband. He is very humble, does not like to be in the spotlight. He does not like to be recognized, but he is very dedicated. Having a business out of your home takes a lot of dedication, and sometimes I feel like I stay gone because I feel like I'm doing something wrong, but to be dedicated for 30 years, and of course he's had to go from his bedroom to the kitchen to get a cup of coffee and then into his office. So he's very dedicated to that, and he goes beyond. Even before we got together, he was doing stuff for the city without charging them. And we just appreciate it. I know Bessie, we throw stuff on you at the last minute, the last couple of things, the court and stuff, but we appreciate it. And the city, the event board that you see down by Los Galos, a lot of people don't know where that comes from. Well, Bob's been doing that for years, so thank you, dear, for doing that. And those small businesses are very important. The taxes that they pay to our city are very important. Also, a shout out, congratulations to the Park and Recreation Department. Most of y'all saw it, that we're on Channel 8, Cleveland Zone. That was a very big kudos to them. They work very hard down there. Mike Callahan and Bob and Sarah and everybody else down there are just, Mary are doing an excellent job, so they deserve that award big time. This past Saturday, we had the renaming of, what's the name?
Palmetto.
Yeah, Palmetto Park to Paula Mezek Park, and it was supposed to be a cloudy day. It was a sunny day. It was really nice. She would have been really happy to see that dedication of the park renamed, and it was all cleaned up, and even some of us got on some of the play equipment in honor of her, and we had a couple of Jeff Asbury went down the slide.
First one to go down the slide.
First one to go down the slide. Also, let's see, this past weekend, yesterday was the car show, the Strawberry Festival. It was rainy, it was drizzled all day long. We still had about 20 cars came out. About 20 cars, some of them came late, so we had people come in. We had 2 bands playing, people still came in. So thank you if you came out and supported that. The Strawberry Festival, I have some of the list here for the bands and stuff, is going to be this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Our Victoria's director of the museum is here tonight, so she can talk a little bit more. On Sunday, the best dessert contest. So if you have some of those family recipes about strawberry, anything with strawberry in it, and be cake, cookies, or whatever, that's going to be Sunday, June 9th. Have your desserts there about 12:45. The judging is going to be at 1:20, and we have Michelle Paris and Judge Papa there, and our mayor, I had to twist his arm. He's going to be a judge for the contest.
Things I have to do.
And a big thank you to the mayor and his wife too, for all that they do for the Historical Society, everything that we have around here. Yeah, he's the mayor, but he goes beyond. Him and his wife. His wife has done all these fresh pies for the fundraiser for the Historical Society. So a big thank you to her. Thank you to the Bedford High School students, juniors and seniors. Came out and helped out. The automotive students came out and helped out yesterday in the rain. We couldn't have done it without them. When the concert series starts, our museum will be open on Wednesdays during the concert series. Every Wednesday that there's a concert, we will be there selling popcorn as we always do. So, and we're open at the same time as the gazebo entertainment's going on. Let's see, if you are a senior or if you're somebody with a disability and you're having trouble with your lawn, getting your lawn mowed, please feel free in Ward 1 to call me, because I have a list, and a lot of the neighbors help out. My church helps out. Usually most of the lawn services have a rate. Some of them cannot do it for free. Because of liability and everything, because they're going on your property. If they fling a rock, even if you say, oh, I wouldn't, it could happen. So some of them don't, but most of them do have like a $20, $25 fee, or sometimes a little bit less than I know some of the churches do. So there is avenues out there that can help you out. If you're having trouble, getting your yard, the citations is that you're usually given 72 hours or more. So there is services out there, like I said, Ward 1, if you're having trouble, feel free to call me, because I have some connections. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Selby.
Good evening. Saturday morning, I participated in the dedication of the renaming of the Palmetto Tot Lot to Paula Mezek Park. Paula was a longtime Bedford councilwoman, volunteer, and Bedford resident. I was happy to support this recognition of her positive contributions to our community. Memorial Day Parade. Thank you to the Memorial Day committee members, city workers, community volunteers, and the Bedford City School District bands that once again did a great job in preparing the parade route, square, Bedford Cemetery, provide the music. So Bedford's century-long Memorial Day tradition, honoring our local soldiers who died in the service to our nation, could continue. The Memorial Day service included a war monument dedication for Chief Warrant Officer Hal Hooper Reichel, who was killed in action in Iraq in 1991, and PFC Brandon Sloan, who was killed in action in Iraq in 2003. Both soldiers' names were added to the memorial. 3, Meadowbrook Market Square, 22277 Rockside Road, Bedford in my ward. I spoke with one of the owners of Zach's Superstore after a large number of Garfield Heights teens trespassed on their property, as well as illegally and recklessly violated traffic laws on heavily trafficked Moorfield Road in Bedford. Zach's owner agreed to work with the city and I to proactively address any future illegal activity on the property. This will maximize the successful criminal prosecution of any individuals who trespass or commit any other criminal code violations on that large property. This will send a message that the city of Bedford will not tolerate or be passive about criminal behavior of residents or outsiders. Taft Park. Monitoring of Taft Park continues. I visit the park daily, sometimes twice, once while the park is open and after closing hours. I'm happy to report that incidents of after-hour activity at the park appear to be on the decline as a result of persistent monitoring. Evidence suggests graffiti and illegal alcohol use of the park is continuing, and since the park is primarily for the use of children, more work needs to be done to ensure parents, especially mothers and grandmothers, feel safe taking young children to the park. Grass clippings in Bedford Street. I spoke with the Giant Eagle representative requesting that their lawn service stop mowing or blowing grass in the street, which I personally observed. Since then, Northfield and Solon roadways adjacent to Giant Eagle have been grass-free. I've also stopped and advised several residential landscaping services to please refrain from mowing grass clippings into city streets. Inform that the grass helps clog sewer systems, cause motorcycles to crash due to lack of road traction caused by the clippings, and it violates the city ordinance. Loitering. I'm glad to report the parking lots located at Northfield and Columbus Road have been generally free of the loiterers who had been hanging around the strip center's businesses and parking lots. I have been monitoring the lots daily and calling the Bedford Police Department to report violations. I appreciate the assistance of the city manager and Bedford Police Department in bringing about the substantial improvement. Residents and staff of these businesses feel much safer when people are not hanging around these businesses and parking lots, panhandling, or involved in other questionable and illegal behavior. 607 Northfield Road. This past week I called the successor trustee who controls the property via the trust that holds parcel 813-08020, also known as 607 Northfield Road, Bedford, Ohio. You may be more familiar with this parcel as where the Speedy Mart and Bay Market did business prior to closing. I was unable to speak with the trustee, but left the reason for my call, contact information, or request to return call. I will call again if my call is not returned, and perhaps take a drive to Beechwood and knock on the trustee's door. I wonder if the city of Beechwood would allow one of its commercial properties to degrade to the extent that 607 Northfield has achieved through neglect without a demand for immediate remediation. 776 Broadway Avenue. I visited the property at 776 Broadway Avenue this weekend to better understand the layout of the existing buildings and parking lots of this property and adjacent strip center, since council may be asked to approve or override the recent Board of Zoning Appeals decision to deny the property owner's request for a variance due to a lack of parking spaces. I also attended the BZA meeting last Tuesday evening and listened to both proponent and opponent testimony prior to the BZA vote. Thank you. End of report, Ward 2.
Thank you. Mr. Fluharty.
I don't know how to follow all that. Congratulations, Bob. Everything's been said already, pretty much, but I got a message from the family for Paula Mizak. Her daughter, Angela, wants to thank everybody up here for doing what we did to present this event for her, and they enjoyed themselves tremendously, and they are very appreciative of everything we did in the report.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
I don't have to say much because everything has been said. Being the last person to speak, but I would want to congratulations, Bob, 30 years. I know it's been a rough time at times, and you pushed through it. Keep on doing what you're doing, and you'll probably get another 30 out of it. So congratulations again. I would also like to congratulate the Misak family on the renaming of Palmetto Top Lot to Paula Misak Park. As you might know, I took Paula's place on council. She actually asked me to do it, and I had turned it down. I said, no, Paul, I can't do it. I get a call from the mayor, and I told him give me a couple of days, but I thought about it. And Lord knows that I'm not really a politician. I wasn't cut out for this, but I've stepped in, and I've changed, and now I'm serving my community, which I've always done. I've always been a server of the community in which I live or have done recreation in. So once again, thank you to Paula. I know you're watching over me at this time, but the family, congratulations. End of report.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a nice event on Saturday, and something nice that we could do for Paula. She was just a special lady. Let's move on with new business. Motion to accept the Board of Zoning Appeals denial of Bernard Motley's appeal of the Building Commissioner's determination of non-compliance of the proposed business located at 776 Broadway Avenue, Bedford, Ohio, for parking deficiency. I have a motion. A yes vote is you agree with the zoning appeals to deny Mr. Motley's appeal. A no vote, you disagree with the Board of Zoning Appeals denial. And I have a motion to accept the Board of Zoning Appeals decision. Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion to reappoint John Treziak to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Motion for such. By Asbury, second by Longino. Yeah, Mr. Treziak has been on the board for a while. He does a great job over there, and again, if you agree, appoint, yes. If you don't agree, no. Call the roll, please.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Resolution number 2618-24.
Yes, sir. A resolution authorizing the city manager to apply and accept a grant through Cuyahoga County pursuant to its Healthy Urban Tree Canopy Grant Program and declaring an emergency.
And we just need a simple resolution.
I'll just like to suspend the rules.
Okay. Motion for suspension by Longino, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Spinks, second by Fluharty. John?
Oh, sure. It's pretty much spelled out in the ordinance. The county has pledged over $5 million over the last 5 years to plant thousands of trees across the county and create a tree canopy. And I think we were successful last year in getting an award as well, but we have to reapply this year for the 2024 replanting program. And the amount, well, the maximum amount is $50,000. If we are fortunate enough to get the grant, our match of the program would be $7,500 if we got the whole $50,000. So not a bad deal to get from 100 to 150 trees, which will be planted. 50 trees probably, they have to be staggered over the year just because of the weather. So we anticipate if we do get the award, that the 50 trees will be planted this year, and perhaps 50 towards the end of next year, 50 in the spring. Well, we're not sure of the whole schedule yet, but that's it. Thank you.
Call the roll, please.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Now we come to the hearing of citizens. If you wish to speak, please come forward, state your name, your address, and your comment.
Hello, my name is Michael Fontana. I live at 609 Bell Court. As everybody, I think knows, most people know that I'm having problems with my property. It's 609 Bell Court. My property is completely trashed. It's all wide open. It's all 8-foot holes in the ground. They tore out the driveways. My wife is handicapped. I have to walk on my neighbor's property to get to it. I'm just wondering when it's going to be taken care of. The town is supposed to be coming in there to tear up the road and fix the pipes. And it's been over, the 25th was the last time anybody did work there.
That's the last time they did work there?
Yeah, last time somebody did anything there.
Sure. Get back on top of that.
This is, I think the city's aware of it. Isn't this the builder, what's the builder's name, Mr. Amato?
Yes?
Mr. Amato, he's, apparently there was an error in the installation of the pipes some time ago, and when he built the new house, there's a new structure there, I take it, they discovered that it was installed incorrectly, and we believe it was Spectrum's fault. They're trying to finagle, not finagle, but negotiate a resolution where everybody sort of pitches in for the cost, just to resolve it for you, but it's, I'm not sure where that, we did discuss that about a week or so ago, and then Memorial Day came, it was a short week last week, but I'll bring it to Mr. Malice's attention.
Yeah, because Spectrum was gonna pay Amato $13,000 to fix it.
Amato agreed
So
to
he had
that.
to stop when this inspector came over, because the pipes weren't right. He
Again,
had to stop working on the 24th because the town came, the inspector came, they stopped it from working.
oh, I didn't know that.
So everything is wide open. All the ditches are 8, 9 feet deep. It's really, Mr. Asbury has seen it. It's really a mess. I said, my wife's handicapped. I have to walk her from the street all the way to the house. She's on oxygen, she's on dialysis. So it really, it's a mess for us.
Yeah, it seems like something pretty simple. It was determined they were at fault, and they said they'd fix it, and they're not, so.
The Spectrum, we've got to get on top of Spectrum.
Spectrum's willing to pay the money.
I hear you. I don't know what the holdup is then. The last thing I heard, they were close to reaching a settlement, and again, the holiday happened, so I'll try to, I'll bring it to Michael's attention first thing in the morning, I promise.
I'm saying, the town is one that stopped it from working.
Our town,
Yeah.
or our Spectrum?
Building inspector, yeah. Stopped it from working.
Apparently, that's something wrong.
Because of the pitch of the pipes. It has to be 5-inch drop. There's no drop.
Oh, okay, well, that's a whole nother,
That's what the holdup is.
whole nother ballgame there.
Yeah?
The last thing
They're gonna tear up, Michael Greer said they were gonna tear up the road.
I know one whether I.
Yeah, the last thing I heard on Friday was that the plan had to be submitted to Junie for him to approve it, because they do have to go from the road across the street on the left-hand side where the cul-de-sac starts. They've got to open that up and redo the pipe, so there's a 5-inch pitch from where the yards are to the pipe, so.
So it's a big mess.
Yeah,
I appreciate any help you can give it.
Yes, sir. We'll
Thank you.
talk about it in the morning, I promise you.
Betsy Squire Lee, live at 76 Palmetto and at 30 South Park. Yeah. I hope everybody comes this weekend to the Strawberry Festival. We have more than 50 crafters. We have 8 artists in the museum. We have fresh strawberries, strawberry shortcake, strawberry sundaes, entertainment the whole time. We're going to have a wonderful time. We're celebrating our 60th year for the Strawberry Festival. It started from 1 to 5 on a Sunday afternoon, and now it's 3 days. So please come, have fun with us.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Perfect timing.
Right?
Sabrina Mitchell, 39 Willard Avenue, Ward 1. Okay, so I wanted to invite you guys in the community and to help me promote my son's book launch party. It will be at Ellenwood at the Bedford Rec Center. So he goes to Carrollwood. He wrote a book. I published it. So if you guys could come support, it would be good for the community. I'm gonna invite like the Treehouse and some other community businesses to come, and that way we can like branch school, community, parents, and just kind of like build up this community together and join together as a family. So
What time and when?
it is June 30th, 4 to 6. I have like little invites. But yeah, I would love for anyone to come. It would be great for them to do that.
And that's at Ellenwood?
Yes, Ellenwood, for Rec Center. Thank you guys.
Good luck. Well, that's awesome.
What's it about?
How old's your son?
He's 9, he just turned 9, and it's called Dream It, Then Build It. So it's very like inspirational, but fantasy. So like, we have slime cars, stuff that's not real, but neither were cars that drove themselves a whole bunch of years ago. So you never know. I'm not saying it's going to be a slime car, but it's just like building on your imagination and creating stuff that has never been created before, but giving kids hope and inspire them to just dream big and to work hard.
Well, that's cool.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Steve Shore. We own the property 790 through 804 Broadway. I spoke at the BZA, I guess last week, and we heard everyone this evening, and you know, my hope is that that the Motleys who have owned the building next to our property are able to put something in there. Obviously, the issue was not the issue was taking our parking spaces. The reason I want to stand up here is, number one, to introduce myself to meet council who I've never met.
You've been
Also,
around for more than 30 years as well, haven't you?
we had, yeah. My dad's on the, well, my dad passed away, but he bought the property probably 35 years ago. So we operate it, we lease it, and I just wanted to kind of share and ask council and the mayor if there's a business that the city is looking for. I'll be glad to give my cell phone number. The number in the window is a Lisa number, which goes to me anyway. But we're about 50% occupied, and I guess what I want to ask the city here is, what is the occupancy right now in the downtown area? Does anyone know? Between the shops there?
Not offhand.
Mike maybe.
He had a commitment tonight, but we could put you in touch with our economic development lady if you'd like. She's very talented and
Yeah, I'd ask you, if you want to give your number after the meeting,
Sure.
Give it to Mr. Montello. Make sure that Jennifer Kuzma, our economic development person, and Mike get it so they can talk. 'Cause
Terrific.
always looking for places or businesses to move into places, so.
she's very active with the First Suburbs, what's the name of it? First
Suburbs Consortium.
They're always sort of involved with economic development and programs and be a good hookup for you. probably.
That's great. Thank you all.
Hey, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jay Watson. I live at 40 Berman. And sorry that Malice is not here. I want to let him know I appreciate his response to my legal messages regarding homes that I saw that had high grass. He encouraged me to give him a call, and I was averaging probably in a 2-week period every day coming in at least 4 homes. And I was seeing where they were being addressed. I want to let him know I appreciate it. But I was also wanting to question when he receives this call or he's addressing the need for these homes, is it going to the building department? Okay, that's good. Because 2 times, and I just done this within the last couple of days, I gave homes on Solon Road across the street from the building department, where the grass is high. And I was curious if that department is to address that particular need, why don't they do it before I say something?
Well, they do go out and are looking for but they have to give notice to the people before we cut it. So sometimes they've already given the notice, or sometimes we do miss it, but believe me, all the council members are very active in that regard, reporting high grass when it's in their wards, and as is the mayor and everyone. I think this is very adamant, very, they really are trying, they're very active in trying to keep the lots cut. Believe me, they are.
I'm not disputing that. I find it kind of questioning if that's the department. And if you look across the street.
No, the department's right here at City Hall.
I thought it was over there on Silver Road.
That's the service department.
Okay, so it's not those people over there? That's okay.
They cut it.
So we got one guy that cuts city property and the delinquent one too.
Okay, because like I said, and that's why I wanted some clarification. I thought they were located over there on Solon Road.
No, they're right back, right in here.
Okay, then I stand corrected, because I was calling on at least 2 homes.
Yeah,
And I know this recently, another home, the grass is growing, and I'm driving on that road frequently, and to your point, if they were responding to it, they were across the street, I didn't see where it was more than a week, more than a week. But I want to let them know that I appreciate that when I gave calls, like I said, I was averaging 4 homes a day, and this was a solid 2 weeks. They were responding. And I just wanted to tell them personally, thank you.
Thank you.
But, pardon me?
Thank you.
Okay. Stop signs, I came to the meeting, and during that meeting, they were talking about how the stop signs are being illuminated to encourage, people to stop. I have not seen any success in that regard, but I'm not out there 24 hours a day. I'm hoping that it is working to some degree. But what I have noticed is that if you go through many of the communities where there's stop signs, you could be a block away and you don't see a stop sign because it's obstructed by tree limbs or whatever. And that is concerning to me. And it's not just 1 or 2. There are quite a few stop signs that are obstructed until you actually get right up on it. Then you may see it. And I'm curious.
Talking about in town here?
Oh, yes, in town. Yes, in town. I mean, I can go out and start sending pictures on that like I did on the homes. I'm not imagining this. I mean, in fact, I tell you a really big example. You come down Northfield heading towards the school where the traffic light will be blinking for the school zone. You can't see it until you get right up on it.
I don't know, I've seen it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you go by there recently, I tell you any of you, and it's flashing, you don't see it until you're almost right up on it because there's tree limbs hanging down low.
No. Mark that down for me.
But what my point is, there's many stop signs that are obstructed by some kind of, mostly tree limbs. My next question is, on my street, has some beautiful street lights, but the trees are obstructing the lights. What can be done regarding that?
Most of that is taken care of by First Energy, CEI. That's their responsibility, trim them back. That's when we see them, when they're really butchering the trees up, that's what they're doing. And then people are complaining because they're butchering the trees, but supposedly they do it safely or correctly for the tree, even though it looks bad.
Well, I can tell you right now on Berwyn, there are trees that are obstructing the light. And I have seen on other streets as well. But yes, sir.
Mr. Watson, and I, just at our recent meeting, prior to the council meeting, I mentioned problems in my ward too of perhaps the canopy, the trees are blocking the street lights.
Yes, so it's,
And they need to be trimmed.
Address the questions here.
okay, well, I'm sorry, I saw where you were curious about my question, or my question, and I was not trying to take it out of order, I appreciate it. My next question or concern is that as we're wrapping up, I anticipate that there will be some gathering down at the square this summer. Should that happen, I'd like to encourage that we try to be proactive in making sure there's decent amount of security. With the way our world is today and we hear where people are gathering, I would like to see that we're proactive in addressing and trying to prevent something like maybe a fight or some disagreement or whatever, because it seems to happen very easily in today's world. Last year, I brought it to the council's attention that when I went to a gathering, people were just crossing everywhere. The crosswalk was not being managed. There was no one there to manage the crosswalk where you have the bank, and cars are just going out, not giving courtesy or consideration to pedestrians when they go across. I also noticed that people were versus staying on the sidewalk to buy their, where they want to purchase from the vendors or what you call the food trucks. They're all out in the street on the other side, challenging the traffic. So not only we're on the sidewalk, they're wrapped all the way around in the street, making a problem for just traffic to get by. I also noticed on that particular time that, and it happened to be during the time they were getting ready to do some road construction on Broadway, that they removed the trash barrels in anticipation of road construction. I hope that they had plenty of trash barrels to adequately meet people's need in the future when we have these kind of gatherings. My next concern is the youth of our community, particularly with school either being out or on the verge of being out. I have noticed a lot of youth with these guns, toy guns, and they are jumping out of cars, chasing one another, and I guess they're squirting water wherever it is. I'm not sure what it is. I have a group of teenagers across the street from me, and they ride in cars, and they chase one another in cars. When the car stops, they all jump out, they all jump back in the car, and just keep on going and going until they get to the next place. And I'm very concerned about this. I'm not sure if anyone here has maybe been witness or heard about it. But I have heard where youth have had guns or toy guns. Someone didn't know it's a toy gun, and we got a big issue in our community that I hope that we can try to somehow prevent. I don't have an answer in terms of how it could be done. I just want to bring it to the council. This is what I'm observing quite a bit. I mean, quite a bit. It could be happening at nighttime, but these guys will be chasing themselves. Also, they'll jump out of the car, run off through people's property, chase one another, get back in the car, and speed down the road, and they just shooting out of the car. Someone be, leaning out the window, firing at one another. It's, to them, it looks like it's fun. It's not real bullets, but it's something. It's something, and it look like Uzis. They're not pistols, they look like Uzis. I'm very concerned. So that's all I have to say. I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good
Brenda Monsko. I don't find myself to be special. This evening I will introduce myself as Dr. Brenda Monsko. I'm leaving this community in a couple of months. I was born and raised here. Maybe last year is when I spoke up. I came back because my father left his house to me. So I thought I'd give it a go. I've had really great interactions with Mr. Asbury and he cares. I'll give Mr. Salvi a quick first impression that I really feel that he cares and he wants to make a difference as well. For those of you who I have not had interactions with, I withhold this from you. For those of you who I have and who I've observed, there's so much dismissive behavior on this council, so much defensive, leading into almost aggressive behavior and responses, that at times I'm ashamed of it. For those of you who care and want to keep citizens like me here, and again, I'm just gonna let it fly. I don't think I'm special. I blow the median income of this community out of the water, and you get good tax money from me. Born and raised, came back, and I've had people try and help me. And in spite of that, I'm leaving. I'm told by my mayor, when I address concerns of murders and crimes, happens everywhere. Yes, sir, you did.
Yes.
Yes, sir, to my face you did. This happens everywhere, and in fact, I asked you to please not respond that way.
And then I went on to say, what we are very concerned here.
You did.
Wasn't dismissing the whole idea. You make
did
it sound
go on
like I
to say
could
that.
care less. Yeah.
You're correct, you did go on to say that.
Yes.
That's an example from the highest position of leadership in this community to illustrate that for those of us who are in positions of addressing others' concerns all day, every day, your first job is to withhold your emotion, hear out that person in front of you, don't dismiss them, don't become defensive, and don't let that defensive / aggressive vibe come through. Because sirs and madams, I have a personality that can be guilty of that. So I use myself as example. For everyone who cares and who continues to try, thank you, and I can't do it anymore. Mr. Asbury, I thank you for your care and concern. I've tried to show up when I can, even if I have nothing to say, because I know to keep my aggressive personality and defensive personality and dismissive personality in check, so I've not said a lot most of the times that I'm here. This is the last time I'll speak. It might be the last time I'm here. The Monsko family have been longtime citizens. I'm the last one, and I say goodbye to my town. Thank you.
Appreciate what you said. Anyone else? Seeing none, a motion for adjournment. Asbury, second by Longino. Call the roll, please.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.